What's up guys and welcome back to another Wynand Crypto video. What I'm about to reveal could completely transform how you see XRP forever. Make sure to watch this video complete until the end because this could change everything for XRP holders. Here is the reality that's going to shock you. Out of the 20 G20 nations, a staggering 18 countries already have established partnerships with Ripple. We're not talking about some wishful thinking here. These are real, documented connections either directly with central banks or with major financial institutions in these regions. So let me break this down country by country, and trust me, this is going to absolutely blow your mind. Starting with Australia, Ripple has solid partnerships with Commonwealth Bank and Airwallex. Moving to Brazil, we see connections with UTL, Unibanco and BTC. Now here is where it gets really interesting with Canada. Not only do they have partnerships with Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce and Zippermint, but get this. Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has first-hand experience with Ripple's technology. Back in 2017, when he was running the Bank of England, they were conducting extensive tests with Ripple's infrastructure. Think about that for a second. The guy, now leading Canada, already understands exactly what XRP and Ripple can accomplish. That's not coincidence, that's strategic positioning. China brings us Line, while France has Crédit Agricole on board. And here's a bombshell. The French central bank has publicly confirmed they've tested the XRP ledger directly. The German representation includes DZ Bank, Via Medico, and Ripple Custody Solutions, plus Deka Bank. India showcases Kotak Mahindra Bank, Istrial Bank, Axis Bank, and Yes Bank. Indonesia features the Bank of Indonesia with cross-border remittance partners. Italy has Banco Intensa, Sao Paulo connections. Japan is absolutely loaded with partnerships. SBI Remit, SBI Holdings, MUFG, SBI Virtual Currencies. Mexico brings Cowlix Bank to the table. Saudi Arabia is massive here as well. We're talking about the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, SAMA, and the Al Rajhi Bank. These aren't small players, you guys. South Africa, through Unifric, is serving 27 out of 55 African countries. South Korea has Worry Bank. Turkey features Ark Bank. The United Kingdom showcases IFX, TransferGo, Currency Direct, and Clear Junction. And the United States? This is where it gets absolutely crazy. Santander US operations, American Express, Star One Credit Union, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. All the major players are already connected. The European Union has multiple banks across member states already integrated. The only gaps I'm seeing here are Argentina, and while Russia did some testing with their central bank and XRP ledger a few years back, there hasn't been notable recent developments there. But here's why this timing is absolutely crucial right now. This entire framework was designed years ago for exactly this moment, when ISO standards get fully implemented and this revolutionary rich data messaging system allows banks and financial institutions to integrate crypto for instant settlements. So let me show you the G20's official blueprint for 2027 until 2030. Watch this. The targets are absolutely game-changing. 75% of all cross-border payments processed under 1 hour with fees under 1%. If you've ever used Swift for foreign exchange, you know you're gonna get hammered with fees, sometimes 1, 2, 3, or even 5% or higher. For exotic corridors where money's harder to move, you could be paying 10 to 15%. That's absolutely insane. They're also targeting full 24/7, 365 days operability. The only realistic way to achieve this is through crypto integration. We're talking transparent, trackable transactions and financial inclusion for emerging economies. Right now with Swift, when you send a payment, sometimes you literally cannot track where your money is. You just send it and hope it arrives. That is medieval compared to what's coming. And here's the kicker. This official report specifically names Ripple and Stellar as the leading token-based payment solutions. Watch this section. While everyone else is obsessing over ETFs and meme coins, Ripple XRP and Stellar XLM are being positioned as infrastructure foundations by regulators themselves. Why these two, you may ask? Because they're ISO compliant, battle tested in live corridors, and fully capable of meeting AML, GDPR, and FATF standards, all mandatory requirements for governments worldwide. The leaked blueprints reveal a convergence of Rails, messaging, and blockchain technology. This calls for unified APIs for banks, FedNow, and RTP Rails for domestic global integration. ISO messaging for compatibility, and blockchain to eliminate costs and delays while enabling real-time tracking and identity compliance. Why specifically Ripple and Stellar? Simple. The old system is completely broken. Swift is outdated. Correspondent banking is massively inefficient, the fees, delays, and exclusions are systematic problems that can't be fixed with band-aids. Ripple delivers institutional corridors, on-demand liquidity, and tokenized real estate capabilities. Stellar enables ultra-low cost for remittances and NGO-friendly infrastructure. Both are already moving money in real time. These aren't theoretical use cases here. Both networks have moved billions and billions of dollars. This isn't about pumping prices, this is about pivoting to programmable liquidity. We're looking at a future where stablecoins, tokenized assets, and foreign exchange move through interoperable, regulatory compliant distributed ledger technologies. While they kept everyone entertained with ETFs, they were engineering an entirely new protocol stack, and XRP and XLM are going to run it. Let me show this research. I've compiled extensive documentation on every connection between G20 nations and Ripple. The information is staggering here. The G20's payment modernization strategy emphasizes ISO 222 messaging standards and distributed ledger technology adoption for interoperability and efficiency. Ripple isn't just recognized as a potential tool, it's positioned as a key agent in G20 policy level plans alongside Stellar Lumens. The FBC report, shaped by G20 mandates and supported by institutions like the Federal Reserve, SWIFT, Visa, JP Morgan, and global central banks, positions Ripple and XRP at the center of new global payment infrastructure. With over 100 financial institutions already partnered with Ripple, and this number is significantly higher now, we're seeing unprecedented institutional adoption. The G20's official cross-border payment reform agenda for 2027 until 2030 directly references and aligns with Ripple's technology and XRP as the digital asset solution. And you guys, I have a special trick for you, which nobody seems to be using, and I cannot wrap my head around why, because if you sign up through my link down in the description onto the BTCC exchange, you get a 10% deposit bonus, and now stay with me here. Now here comes the important part. If you have any trading capital on any other exchange and you move it to your newly created BTCC account, you get, on top of your capital you moved, another 10% extra trading capital. As an example, so if you move or deposit 100k to your account, you get 10k for free. I'm not kidding. I really don't understand why nobody's doing this. To me, it really seems like people sometimes are too lazy or just don't like free money. I mean, like, I cannot make that account for you. You will need to do that yourself, alright? So let's jump back into the video. Here's additional confirmation from industry experts. Watch this. Crypto Airy posted crucial insights about the Financial Stability Board's April 9th, 2020 Stage 1 report to the G20. Enhancing cross-border payments requires removing three major friction points: funding issues, fragmented data, and legacy technology. XRP directly solves all three problems. The World Economic Forum has named XRP as one of the most relevant wholesale CBDC technologies and crypto assets designed for interbank and intrabank payments and settlements. Michael Branch shared a report suggesting that adopting XRP in Ripple's blockchain-based payment innovation is crucial for meeting G20 cross-border transaction targets. This speaks to something massive here. The G20 adoption of these financial assets isn't happening in isolation. It's part of a coordinated global regulatory framework. The reason G20 collaboration is absolutely crucial in the sheer volume of money and trade flowing between these nations. Now let me show you this final piece about stablecoin frameworks. This is Jeremy Allaire from Circle.
I mean, the reality is there is a global framework. The Financial Stability Board, which is the body of the G20 central banks, finance ministries, came up with a set of recommendations for stablecoin policy, and the G20 adopted it. And now the members of the G20, their financial ministries and regulators, are taking those globally agreed upon policy standards and putting them into law. So we actually have a framework that is global that is now being put in place. Now, are there variances here and there? There are, of course, local variances, whether it's banking regulation, insurance regulation, or any other type of financial regulation. There are variances, but it is a global standard. And there will continue to be iterations.
There's a global framework. The Financial Stability Board, representing G20 central banks and finance ministries, created stablecoin policy recommendations that the G20 adopted. G20 members are now implementing these global agreed standards into law. Global standards, global regulation. You see where this is heading, right? There are only a few years remaining to complete this entire transformation. The G20 implementation is scheduled for 2027 until 2030. Over the next 5 years, this will be fully operational and the game begins. So guys, if this content opened your eyes to what's really happening with XRP, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and drop your XRP thoughts in the comments below, and you're positioning yourself for what's coming, and you're still sleeping on this opportunity. Now let me know what you think about these G20 connections. This isn't just the beginning. Thanks for watching. Wynand Crypto out.